Hey guys, in this video we'll be talking about the nasopharynx. So in my previous video I have told about the introduction of the pharynx, their subdivisions, its boundaries, etc. So in this video I'll be talking purely about the nasopharynx. Now let us get into the video. Nasopharynx, I've already told you that it is present behind the nasal cavity, and you know this is the oral cavity. So oral cavity above, what all you are finding is the hard, this is the palate part, this is the hard palate, and this is the soft palate. So now how can you describe the nasopharynx? This is the nasopharynx present behind the nasal cavity. So it is present behind the nasal cavity and above the soft palate. This is a soft palate, this is a hard palate. So present behind the nasal cavity, above the soft palate. Yes. Now, in my previous video, if you haven't watched it, please go there and do watch my video on the pharynx. So the roof here is formed by the body of the sphenoid and the basilar part of the occipital bone. So now coming to the boundaries of the nasopharynx, the roof is formed by the body of the sphenoid and the basilar part of the occipital bone. The floor is formed by the nasal surface. So when you consider this as a palate, this is the upper surface of the palate, this is the lower surface of the palate. This upper surface is also called the nasal surface, this lower surface is also called the oral surface. Now the floor is formed by the nasal surface of the soft palate that is sloping down like this. Yes. And next, pharyngeal isthmus. Pharyngeal isthmus. Yes. What do you understand by the term isthmus? Isthmus is an opening in the floor that is present between the free edge of the soft palate and the posterior wall of the pharynx. This is the opening between the, what is a opening between the free edges of the soft palate and the posterior wall of the pharynx. This is called the pharyngeal isthmus. I'll be talking about the pharyngeal isthmus in detail in my coming videos. Okay. And anteriorly we told nasal cavity. So nasal cavity, when you see the norma frontalis, you find a triangular structure called the pyriform aperture, also called the anterior nasal aperture. Similarly, posterior to it we find two more structures like this called the posterior nasal apertures, and separated by the, this nasal cavity separated by the nasal spine. So the anterior boundary is formed by the posterior nasal apertures and the nasal spine. And now posteriorly it is formed by the anterior arch of the C1 vertebra. Very important. Not the complete C1, only the anterior arch of the C1 vertebra. Next, laterally, so you can't see this in a picture, so laterally will be forming by the medial pterygoid plates of the sphenoid. Medial pterygoid plates of the sphenoid. Now, coming to the features of the nasopharynx. So same picture again and again so that you can easily remember. Nasal cavity, body of the sphenoid superiorly, basilar part of the occipital bone, posteriorly the C1 anterior arch. The floor is formed by the nasal surface of the soft palate which is sloping down, and the pharyngeal isthmus, an opening between the free border of the soft palate and the posterior pharyngeal wall. Okay, so this is all the nasopharynx. So now what are all the features will be seen here? So at the junction of the roof and the posterior wall, this is the roof and this is the posterior wall, this is the junction of the roof and the posterior wall, you can see a collection of lymphoid tissue. This is called as the pharyngeal tonsil. Okay, so hereby you will be knowing about different types of tonsils, so please make a note of it. So the junction between the basilar part of the occipital bone and the roof, you'll be finding a collection of the lymphoid follicle and lymphoidal tissue called the pharyngeal tonsil. Now A muscular diverticulum called the nasopharyngeal bursa. What is that? Nasopharyngeal bursa. It is also called the pouch of Lushk. Pouch of Lashka. Okay. So this nasopharyngeal bursa is also called the pouch of Lashka. What is this nasopharyngeal bursa now? So this is extended into the substance of the nasopharyngeal tonsil like this. So you'll find it like this actually. So when you see there is a small elevation into this tonsil. So this bursa that is extended up to into the substance of this pharyngeal tonsil is called the nasopharyngeal bursa. So how is this nasopharyngeal bursa formed? It is formed due to the addition of the notochord. Addition of notochord to the dorsal wall of the pharynx in the embryonic stage. And after this, still you find a small dimple in the mucous membrane above the pharyngeal tonsil. Somewhere above the pharyngeal tonsil, you will find a small dimple-like structure that is called the remains of the Rathke's pouch. Hope you remember what is a Rathke's pouch. Yes. So it's a small dimple in the mucous membrane just above the this is just above the palatine tonsil. It's just a schematic diagram for make you to understand. So please follow the diagrams what in your books is given, which you do follow. Next, you will find the orifice of the auditory tube. So consider this is the orifice of the auditory tube. This is present on the lateral wall of the nasopharynx at the level of the inferior nasal concha. Okay, so now on the lateral wall, what did we find? The opening for the auditory tube. Superiorly and posteriorly, you will be finding an elevation around this opening. This is called the tubal elevation. What is this called? Tubal elevation. So above the tubal elevation, again we find an aggregation of the lymphoidal tissue. Now this is called the tubal tonsil. What is this called? Tubal tonsil. Now, from this elevation, it forms two folds. One is the salpingopharyngeus fold and other is the salpingopalatine fold. Okay, what are the two folds? Salpingopharyngeus and salpingopalatine. The salpingopharyngeus is actually it is vertical down and soon gets faded away. This fold will be containing the muscle of the same name, that is a salpingopharyngeus muscle, and this is a salpingopalatine fold that will be extending down and forward. This is vertical, this is down and going forward, and it will be containing its own muscle again. Salpingopharyngeus muscle is also called the levator valli palati. Is also called the levator valli palati. Okay, and now the pharyngeal recess, a deep depression is seen behind this tubal. This is the tubal elevation we know. So behind this tubal elevation, we find a deep depression called the pharyngeal recess. Is also called the fossa of the Rosenmuller. Is also called the fossa of the Rosenmuller. So when you consider this as a depression, this is called the pharyngeal recess, or also called the fossa of Rosenmuller. Fossa of Rosenmuller. So now quickly revise what all this nasopharynx is. Coming to the boundaries, so it is present behind the nasal cavity. So superior boundary is by the body of the sphenoid and the basilar part of the occipital bone. Posteriorly the anterior arch of the C1. Inferiorly the nasal surface of the soft palate. Anteriorly the posterior nasal apertures and the nasal septa dividing the nasal cavity into the right and the left part. These are the boundaries, and laterally by the medial pterygoid plate of the sphenoid. And coming to the features, at the roof, at the junction of the roof and the posterior wall, we find the aggregation of the lymphoid tissue called the pharyngeal tonsil. Into the pharyngeal tonsil, a bursa invaginates, that is called the nasopharyngeal bursa or the pouch of Lashka. And behind and superior to it, you find a small dimple in the mucous membrane. This is called the remains of the Rathke's pouch. And now, what are the features? The important feature of this nasopharynx is on the lateral wall, you will be finding the opening of the auditory tube. This opening of the auditory tube superiorly, posteriorly, you'll be having an elevation that is called the tubal elevation. Above the tubal elevation, you'll be finding a collection of the lymphoid tissue that is called the tubal tonsil. And from this tubal elevation, you'll be having two folds of mucous membrane that is called the salpingopharyngeus, salpingopalatine. Salpingopharyngeus is vertical, down, gets soon faded up, having its own muscle, salpingopharyngeus muscle. And this is the salpingopalatine that will be having its own muscle, salpingopalatine muscle, or also called the levator veli palatine. Okay, and next is the pharyngeal recess. So there is a depression behind the tubal elevation. This is called the pharyngeal recess, or also called the fossa of the Rosenbulla. Okay, this is all about the boundaries and features of the nasopharynx. Now, coming to the clinical aspect. So what all we have seen here is about the two types of tonsil. What are that? The tubal tonsil above the tubal elevation, and the nasopharyngeal tonsil, or simply the pharyngeal tonsil. This pharyngeal tonsil, this is prominent in children up to 6 years of age. Later it gets atrophy in the sense it degenerates. But this sometimes become enlarged due to the infection in children that lead to adenoids. These adenoids, in the sense this pharyngeal tonsil will get enlarged, and that soon goes and will be blocking the posterior nasal apertures. We know anterior boundary is the posterior nasal aperture. As it grows in size, it goes and blocks the posterior nasal aperture, and the patient will be, that kid will be feeling very difficult to breathe, and will be having a breathing mouth breathing obligatory. And some of other clinical features are like nasal obstruction and nasal discharge, mouth breathing, and toneless voice. And also the pharyngeal infections are carried to the middle ear via the eustachian tube or the. Okay, this is all about the clinical aspect of the nasopharynx and its detail. If you like my video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more